Alrighty, squad. We are back. Ophelia just scarfed down her dinner. Holy crap. Ophelia is my little cat that I just adopted, for those of you who are new here. I'm going to start putting away these dishes that I just did. Welcome. I hope this looks okay. I spent like 45 minutes today actually watching the camera tutorials that I mentioned and like trying to get it all set up and cinematic and stuff. But I'm still kind of getting familiar with it, I guess is the way that I will put it. But I'm going to pack my lunch for tomorrow, and I'll kind of walk through what that is and how I used it to lose 30 pounds. But more importantly, and probably the title that I'm going to use for this video, is I want to talk about how to get a job. And not just right out of college, but pretty much anytime. I feel like these practices would work. Heck, I didn't finish college, yet these are the kind of same strategies that I used to land a gig. This isn't like step one, but like it's going to be more of just me showing my experience. I don't think there's a surefire way to just always get a job because life isn't that black and white. But I'm going to share my experience, and I definitely think that there's going to be bits and bobs and tips and tricks from it that hopefully you can kind of pull and hopefully will be useful to you. And if not, maybe you will just enjoy the story. So, when I first moved out, I was working at a gym, and I was not making the best money. I was making minimum wage. Which was like just barely enough to really support my rent that I had because I had just moved out. And I did not like it there. It sucked. It was not a fun job. I love working out. I love being in the gym. It was not a good environment to work at, though, this specific one. And I quit without having a backup plan. Don't ever do this, by the way. Always have another gig lined up before you quit your current job. Do as I say, not as I do. So this is like 4.5, almost 5 years ago. And I was nervous. I didn't have a job. I did not have an income. And I all of a sudden have bills to pay. And what I did was I legit drove around. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and there's a lot of little like kind of corporate sort of business parks and complexes around my area, or I guess around where I had moved out to at the time. And so I just drove around, and I was like, so I'd interviewed at a few places, one of them being a car dealership. Absolutely hated the vibes. They offered me the job on the spot, which is always a red flag. Again, take that with a grain of salt. If it's a gig that seems cool and like, you're not getting your spider sense isn't going off or anything, then by all means go for it. But sometimes it has been said that getting the job offered like right off the rip or on the spot is a bit of a red flag. So the car dealership, but I eventually just started driving around and was like looking at buildings and stuff and being like, oh yeah, I think I'd like to work there, or I'd like to work in this kind of environment. And I was more so just looking for like places that I would like to work, like physically, not even like I may not have known what the actual place was or what the business did, but it seemed like a cool, building or location or something like that. And from there, I used Indeed and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, I think it takes more than just like Indeed or LinkedIn to find the good opportunities. I think some of the best ones are often like not posted there very inconveniently. So like driving around looking at the company names, I would then go on their website and go on their careers page, which if you don't know how to find that, any company, if you scroll to the bottom of their website and go down to the, like, hang on, spoke my brain constipation. Every company has a careers page. You can typically find it by scrolling all the way down to the bottom of their homepage website, or the homepage of their website. And that's where I'm pretty sure I found my gigs to my current company. And, 4.5 years later, lo and behold, I'm still there. And apologies if I sound a little nasally or something. I'm getting over a little bit of a head cold, so cut me some slack if I sound and look a little disheveled. But that was where I started out as a tech support agent, and that was the opening gig that I found on their website. I applied, and I kind of told the story in one of my previous videos. Went from tech support agent to team lead, and then I was kind of like the weekends manager and key wielder and door opener and all that stuff for the office. And now I work as a content writer for their marketing team. So it's been a very cool journey. It hasn't been easy. There's definitely been hard moments, and ups and downs, and fun and not fun, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So I guess a takeaway from that would be like location scouting, but also don't be afraid to step out of like the comfortability that LinkedIn or Indeed and all like those kind of like ZipRecruiter, those websites provide you, of just being like, oh, I can just like LinkedIn easy apply or click a few buttons and then boom, the job application is sent off. Try going a little bit deeper than that. Sorry, I have to count this sweet potato really quick. I cannot multitask that at once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I need one more. Okay. Sorry about that. I guess that kind of goes becoming this tech support agent. That sort of leads perfectly into my next point, which I would say is don't be afraid to do something that you may not have foreseen you doing. Tech support, I guess, was kind of up my alley. I worked at the Apple Store before that. But, I mean, that was still, like, more of a salesy kind of job. And, like, there definitely was, like, a tech support angle to it. But it was more pushing products and helping, like, with setup of that kind of stuff. So the tech support gig was much more like a focus on the software and the hardware for the specific company that this is. It was tough. It was a pretty long training process. But the training doesn't cover like the insane amount of crazy things that could possibly happen with the internet and electronics and technology and the way people use them and all that kind of stuff. So it was a tough gig, but I met a lot of cool people. I definitely got some great experience. But yeah, don't be shy to sign up for something that might not be out. I friggin' got a little cat claw on my thumbnail bed. Don't be afraid to sign up for something that you think might not be in your wheelhouse. You might surprise yourself. You never know. Yeah, where? Let me take a quick break in the conversation to walk you through my lunch while I can kind of gather my thoughts there. I looked at the viewfinder on the camera and it like totally derailed my internal monologue. These videos can be kind of tough. I'm still getting used to them because it feels like I'm just rambling a lot. So thank you guys for your comments and feedback and all that stuff too. And thank you guys for just watching. It's fun like being able to share kind of my story and stuff because I have one, always loved making videos, and two, have always wanted to share it. I feel like, I don't know, I've had to go through some kind of rougher spots, but have ultimately figured out, at least for where I currently am in my current age and stuff, I feel like I've figured out life and stuff. So, I don't know. If I can help other people do the same, then I would gladly do so. My lunch, though, is just ground beef and sweet potato. I feel like that's a pretty common gym bro meal nowadays. I'm starting to see it more and more in TikToks and everything. Use a lean ground beef, maybe a little bit fattier if you're bulking. Strain it, or I cook it a specific way where I don't really need to strain it. I do the method where you like cook the ground beef in a big ring shape, sort of, so all the grease and oils and water and all that stuff kind of evaporates in the middle. Anywho, so yeah, break out of your comfort zone when it comes to looking for, like, the method that you go looking for jobs, and then I guess, yeah, also breaking out of your comfort zone with the types of jobs that you're looking for. Yeah, the environment's really important. Like, and not just in the sense of like, you know, you want kind to people to work with and so on and so forth. Of course, that's a given. But like, I guess on a more shallow level, like, think of places where you would want to see yourself in 5 years. I think this is the next point. Play the long game in your head. I think a lot of people are like looking. I'm 25, Gen Z, born in the year 2000. I think a lot of people from my generation are kind of in the like always looking for the next gig that pays more kind of phase, which totally makes sense. We have to make a lot of money. The government and economy is kind of whack. And like the cost of living and all that stuff is sort of BS. So, crap, 2.3 ounces. 2.3 ounces plus 3.7. Okay, cool. But regardless of that, play the long game in your head. If you can like find a gig, I keep saying gig, and I feel like I'm annoying myself in my head. If you find a job at a place where in like 5 years you'd be like, man, it'd be cool to work for their engineering team. It'd be cool to work with their like UI UX development team. It'd be cool to work with their marketing team or so. Then play that like your thought process forward. Man, I feel like this is like slowly going off. I'm gonna stop the recording and change the camera angle, and I'll be right back. Honestly, you guys, I'm really sorry. I was gonna use that camera angle to change to like iron out the point, but instead it totally like got erased from my memory, and I have no clue where I was when I was last talking, so I am so sorry. But don't be afraid to break out of your comfort zone. And, oh yeah, that's what it was. To plan or play the tape forward a bit. Like for me, the company that I ended up taking that tech support job, I was able to see myself planting my seeds there. And lo and behold, about 5 years later, I'm still there. Totally like 180 different position from where I started. It took a lot of work and showing up and early days and getting yelled at by people and all kinds of stuff, and gosh, but man, was it worth it. So play the tape forward. I totally respect always looking for the next big thing. I think that's smart. But don't let that I don't know, don't let that be the freaking like old-timey prison ball and chain on your ankle, because it totally can if you let it. So don't be afraid to break out of your comfort zone. Another thing, this is kind of just like this is not like a actual, I guess, secret tip or whatever, but LinkedIn is really good to have just for scouting jobs. I don't really post a whole lot on LinkedIn. I don't think I ever will post a whole lot on LinkedIn. the posts are cringy, dude. It's cringy, and everything, all the memes and stuff that you hear about LinkedIn are totally true. It's bad. But at the same time, I think it's a really good place to like flex your portfolio or certifications or your education. Maybe a nice little headshot or photo of yourself. It's a good spot to like just have an online professional presence, especially if you don't have a website. Like if you're not in a creative role or something like that, where you don't have a portfolio or some kind of website already, a LinkedIn is a really good place just to like have an online professional presence. You don't have to post or anything. I'd post like once a year, maybe. But yeah, take that for what you will. I'm packing the rest of my lunch. The rest of my lunch is 2 Baby Bell Lights. These things. Bam, Baby Bell Lights. And an Oikos 000. And 2 lightly salted rice cakes. I'll probably switch to some like instant oatmeal once I start bulking back up. But I am cutting right now, so I'm not gonna do that. Right now it's rice cakes. After this, I think after the gym probably, I will make my pizza sub that I've made for you guys a couple times now. I might grab a sandwich bag for the rice cakes. But whatever you guys do, whatever stage of your journey that you're at, I wish you the absolute best of luck. I know that it's rough out there. Trust me, I get it. I know that the job market sucks, and applying for jobs and getting denied for jobs is like the endless loop, and all of it sucks, but keep trying. The more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. Sometimes you gotta do more than the LinkedIn Easy Apply, or just like the spamming the Indeed like quick apply thing. So yeah, if you gotta drive around and look at buildings and be like, dang, I'd like to work there, go to their careers page online, and then maybe they have a job that you can kind of see, you can foresee a pathway in the next 3 to 5 years, then maybe give it a shot. That's kind of what I did. So if it worked for me, I hope it will work for one of you guys. I don't know. If not, then don't do what I said and carve your own way. And either way, whatever you guys do, you're going to carve your own way. So I wish you the best of luck. I know it's rough out there, but I know that you guys will do great. So as long as you try hard. Try hard. Seriously, that's the thing that, like, I watched Sam Sulik, but also there's a quote from Rich Piana. I saw the bodybuilder Rich Piana. There's a lot of memes about Rich Piana, but there's a quote of his that is, or I guess it kind of I can't remember what the quote is, dude. I'm sorry. But it basically has like the message of it takes what it takes. You get what you put into things. So sometimes getting the job takes more than sitting on the computer and just doing the like online applications. Sometimes you gotta drive around and look at places, personal web pages, or network with their recruiters. It's rough out there, but I know you guys will make it. I don't really think I have anything else for this video. Let me show you guys my cat. She just finished her dinner and now she is napping within her, or not within, atop her donut, her charcoal gray Catosaurus. Sorry, I don't know why I was saying it like that. I filmed a Leon Kennedy TikTok or reel or whatever, so I got do not worry about the mess in my bed. Okay, I'm ending this clip.